Hi there, this is Stargazer, and today I am ranking all the films from the Scream franchise before the release of Scream 7. Let's get on with the countdown. Number 6, Scream 3. Let's talk pros and cons for this interesting yet divisive entry. Pros. Neve Campbell's performance as Sidney Prescott. Scream 3 gives Sidney a more introspective arc. Neve Campbell plays her with quiet trauma and guarded strength. Her self-imposed isolation and eventual choice to stop running feels like a natural emotional evolution from the first two films. Hollywood satire. The movie within a movie concept with Stab 3 cleverly skewers Hollywood with studio interference, script rewrites, fame obsession, and actors playing exaggerated versions of the core characters. It's not as razor sharp as the original's meta-commentary, but it's still entertaining and ambitious. Solo killer twist. Unlike previous films, this Ghostface works alone. That makes Roman physically more imposing and gives him a uniquely personal vendetta. Cons. The voice changer. The voice changer that mimics anyone instantly stretches believability even by Scream standards. It removes the grounded realism that made earlier Ghostface calls so chilling. Reduced violence and tension. After Columbine, the film was rewritten to be less graphic. As a result, fewer brutal kill sequences, less suspense, and a more comedic tone. Compared to the raw brutality of the original Scream and Scream 2, it feels toned down. Roman's retcon problem. Revealing that Roman influenced Billy retroactively changes the mythology. Some fans feel this weakens the purity of Billy's original motive in Scream and makes the story feel too forced. Tone imbalance. The film leans heavily into comedy at times, which undercuts tension. The Hollywood satire sometimes overshadows the horror, making it feel closer to parody. Underused core trio. Dewey, Gale, and Sidney. They're still central, but Sidney has less screen time than expected, and the emotional stakes don't always land as hard. Number 5, Scream 4. The highs are high, but the lows are low for this entry that begs the question of rebooting the franchise. Pros. The Jill Roberts reveal. Scream 4 delivers one of the franchise's boldest twists with Jill Roberts. Her motive, wanting fame without doing the work, feels disturbingly modern. The self-harm scene where she brutalizes herself to look like a victim is one of the most shocking and psychologically dark moments in the series. Social media commentary. Years before influencer culture fully exploded, the film satirized viral fame, live streaming violence, and remakes and franchise obsession. Its critique of internet notoriety feels even more relevant now than it did in 2011. Brutal kill sequences. The movie brought back a harder edge. Olivia's bedroom kill is especially vicious. The opening fake-out sequence cleverly escalates the meta formula. It feels meaner and more intense than Scream 3. Strong supporting cast. Kirby Reed, played by Hayden Panettiere, became an instant fan favorite thanks to her horror knowledge and charisma. Charlie Walker plays the creepy film geek angle convincingly. The legacy trio still shines. Sidney Prescott feels confident and battle-hardened, Gale Weathers gets a fun subplot about creative burnout, and Dewey Ridley is now sheriff, adding emotional weight. Sidney especially feels fully evolved, no longer running, but confronting evil head-on. Cons. Washed out visual filter. The heavy, bright, almost overexposed filter gives the movie a strange glossy look that some fans dislike, and it dates the film visually. Underdeveloped new characters. Several teens don't get enough depth before they're killed, making some deaths less impactful. Tonal imbalance. The film mixes very dark satire with teen drama, and at times the emotional stakes don't land as strongly as in the original Scream. Studio interference and cut content. Deleted scenes suggest a slightly different structure that may have given characters more breathing room. Some fans feel the theatrical cut feels trimmed down. Number 4, Scream 2022. This film balances the pros and cons on a equal-edged blade. Here's what works and what doesn't. Pros. Smart requel commentary. Scream cleverly satirizes modern franchise revivals, legacy characters plus new cast formula, toxic fandom, and elevated horror discourse. It updates the meta commentary for the 2020s, without feeling like a copy of the original. The Carpenter sisters dynamic. Sam Carpenter and Tara Carpenter bring emotional weight. Tara's brutal opening attack is one of the strongest in the series, and Sam's internal struggle, especially the hallucinations tied to her lineage, adds a darker psychological angle. Richie as a killer. Richie Kirsch works well because his toxic fan motive feels current. His reveal scene in the kitchen has classic Scream energy. Brutal, grounded violence. The kills feel raw and physical again, especially the opening attack, the hospital sequence, and the final fight. Ghostface feels dangerous and fast, closer in tone to the original Scream than some sequels. Emotional stakes and legacy. Dewey Riley's death is one of the franchise's most impactful moments. It raises real stakes and signals that no one is safe anymore. Cons. Uneven new character development. A few members of the friend group don't get enough depth before becoming suspects or victims. Balancing legacy versus new leads. The film juggles legacy characters Sidney, Gale, and Dewey with the new cast, and sometimes the narrative focus feels split. Number 3. Scream 6. This entry is overhated, despite its flaws, because what it offers is cinematically engaging. Pros. New York City setting. The urban setting adds crowded subway paranoia, ladder sequence vertigo, public chaos versus private horror. It gives the film a larger, more chaotic energy. Standout set pieces. The movie is packed with tension-heavy sequences. The bodega shotgun attack, the Halloween subway scene, Gale's apartment attack. The subway scene especially plays with the anonymity in a city full of Ghostface costumes. The core 4 chemistry. Sam and Tara Carpenter, and Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin. Their dynamic feels more natural and confident here. The sibling bonds and friendship are stronger than in the 2022 entry. Sam's darker arc. Sam embracing her violent side adds more moral ambiguity. The final act, where she uses Ghostface tactics against the killers, mirrors her lineage in a way that feels intentional rather than nostalgic. The opening twist. Killing a Ghostface in the opening and revealing the killer early flips the traditional formula before introducing the true masterminds. It's one of the franchise's boldest structural risks. Cons. Plot armor. Several characters survive extreme injuries, multiple stabbings, severe blood loss. The lack of major core 4 casualties lowers long-term stakes. Killer reveal execution. The reveal of Detective Wayne Bailey, Ethan Landry, and Quinn Bailey has some fans feeling the family revenge motive tied to Richie was less surprising and that the third act performances leaned a bit over-exaggerated. Legacy characters usage. Gale Weathers has a strong attack sequence but limited overall impact on the story, and Kirby's return is fun, but some feel she's underutilized in the finale. Number 2. Scream 1996. The original that perfected the meta-horror genre in one go. Here's why it's so influential. The opening scene is legendary. Scream opens with one of the most iconic sequences in horror history. Drew Barrymore's Casey Becker scene subverts star power expectations, builds tension through dialogue alone, and turns a simple phone call into pure terror. It immediately signals that no one is safe. Meta-commentary that changed horror. Written by Kevin Williamson and directed by Wes Craven, the film acknowledges horror tropes, makes characters aware of the rules, deconstructs cliches while still using them. It revitalized the slasher genre in the 90s. Sidney Prescott as a final girl. Sidney Prescott is intelligent, resilient, and emotionally layered. Neve Campbell plays her with grounded vulnerability that makes her survival feel earned rather than accidental. The dual killer twist. The reveal of Billy Loomis and Stu Macher was shocking and innovative. 2 killers allowed for believable logistics and unpredictable chaos in the finale. Strong supporting cast. Gale Weathers adds ambition and edge, Dewey Riley provides heart and awkward charm, Randy Meeks delivers genre-savvy commentary. The ensemble feels authentic and lived in. Tension and realism. Ghostface feels clumsy and human. He trips, gets hit, and makes mistakes. That grounded physicality makes the violence more intense and believable. And Scream 1996 is still my favorite script in the entire franchise. Number 1. Scream 2. While Scream 1 is my favorite script, Scream 2 is my all-around favorite film. This is my personal number 1 that begs the question, can sequels surpass their original? For me, the answer is yes. This movie has smart sequel commentary. Scream 2 cleverly shifts its meta focus to sequels. The body count is always bigger. The death scenes are more elaborate. And debate over whether sequels can surpass originals. It expands the self-aware formula instead of repeating it. The opening theater scene. The Maureen Evans murder in a crowded movie theater is chaotic and bold. Jada Pinkett Smith's performance gives the scene emotional weight, and killing someone in plain sight raises the stakes immediately. Sidney's evolution. Sidney Prescott feels more guarded and mature here. Neve Campbell gives a layered performance that captures trauma, paranoia, and strength. Sidney isn't just surviving, she's fighting back strategically. Strong set pieces. Some of the franchise's most tense moments happen here. Gale's soundproof booth chase, the cop car escape sequence, the rehearsal stage attack. The cop car scene in particular is masterclass suspense. Killer reveal and motives. The reveal of Mickey and Nancy Loomis shows Nancy's revenge motive ties directly to the first film's events, creating emotional continuity. Mrs. Loomis, as the mastermind, was a clever subversion. Gale's growth. Gale Weathers evolves from opportunistic reporter to someone who genuinely cares. Her dynamic with Dewey deepens, adding emotional stakes. So what do you think of my countdown? What is your ranking of the Scream franchise? Thank you for watching, and remember, it's always someone you know.